Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Bachelorette Jenn Tran is looking back, reflecting on her year of education. Fans have suffered a great deal from her time in the lead this year. Before her television finale even aired, her romance with Devon Trator ended. Looking back, she can see some of her faults. Continue reading to see what she has to say. Jenn Tran thinks back on her previous Bachelorette year. Jenn Tran is reflecting on her experiences over the last year. She was one of the honorees in Us Weekly's Reality Stars of the Year edition, so they asked her a few questions. Upon reflection, she characterized her experience over the last year as emotional, heartbreaking, and hopeful. If she could travel back in time and tell the version of herself that was prepared to go on filming what to expect, she would say, "Buckle up, buddy. When things don't always work out the way you want them to, I would advise you to just buckle up and enjoy the trip since the universe has other plans for you." She went on to remark, "If I had to go back, I would tell myself to trust my intuition and to dig a little bit deeper into it." Jenn admits that, with Devon Trator, she didn't really do it. Jenn says to everybody she meets that they should trust their gut feelings if they are seeing someone who is similar to Devon. She clarified that there's a cause behind people's emotions. Jenn asserted that manipulation ought not to be applied to anyone. Moving forward, Jenn says she's learning how to smile again. She stated that living life to the fullest would be better to getting even. Both sexes will come up to Jenn Tran and admit that they had also broken off an engagement. Her accomplishments and her perseverance have left them all in awe. She is quite proud of her abilities to portray her Vietnamese heritage and family on television. She has also won plaudits for her honest portrayal of Asian Americans. Jenn is still competing on Dancing with the Stars today. Jonathan Johnson is there for her, offering encouragement and support. Neither he nor her have admitted to having a romantic relationship thus far. What are your thoughts on Jenn's wish that a year ago she could have told herself to sing? Keep an eye out for further developments. Devon Trator, 28, who owns a shipping company, has repeatedly demonstrated himself this time around with the single girl. Devon goes above and above to build a trustworthy rapport with Jenn Tran, and this season, he has effectively finished the process of becoming a leader. Since Joey Graziadei was let go from the single guy, Devon has been lusting over Jenn, as he was depicted in the first episode. Devon is the ideal person to enter Jenn's life since he recognized right away that she was drawn to strong, independent men. Devon set expectations early on by stating that he would have preferred not to be the one to lose all sense of direction throughout the gathering. Sadly, candidates still fail this test after multiple seasons. For instance, Austin Ott recently broke up with Jenn, stating that he didn't feel a connection to the plain-looking beauty. Austin felt way too far behind other males, including Devon, who tried to impress Jenn even in a casual situation. Jenn's season may have ended differently if Austin had come to terms with Devon's nature sooner. Devon realizes that standing out from Jenn is more significant than thinking that other men are competing for her attentions. On the first meeting day, he kept his word and pulled Jenn from the group so she could spend time by herself. Devon's actions showed Jenn that he was serious about her, even when other guys took offense. Aaron Erb later called Devon pompous and conceited, which upset Devon, but Devon didn't care. Devon took a stand at the plate and Aaron started to get interested. Devon made the right decision by declining to take accountability for his deeds. Devon is frequently complimented by Jenn on his ability to act genuine. Even though other men are examining Devon all the time, he exits the show while he's with Jenn. She continued to praise Devon, expressing how much she appreciates his capacity to laugh and enjoy himself throughout their interactions, a noteworthy achievement considering that he is continuously in conflict with other men. Arguably, Devon's biggest adversary, Thomas Nguyen, wasted time talking to Jenn about Devon, which ultimately worked against him. Devon shields Jenn from unnecessary rumors so that he may show her his own self. Even while other opponents have attempted to address their feelings while dating Jenn, Devon typically strikes a mix between light-hearted humor and deep talk. Rather than keeping their talk superficial, he is taking use of his little time with Jenn to gradually explore his shortcomings and unusual upbringing. During their latest one-on-one, Devon had established a sufficient connection with Jenn to talk candidly about growing up without a father, something that Jenn could identify with. This strategy gave Jenn the impression that Devon, who doesn't mind displaying weakness, saw her. Devon's dating strategy on season 21 of The Single Woman has been nothing short of a master lesson. He's still certain whether or not his relationships with other guys work out. By making her the focus of his journey, Jenn might lower her guard and treasure the special moments they have. Jenn doesn't need to hide any parts of herself from Devon because of her awareness, and Devon is shrewd enough to avoid bringing up unrelated subjects with Jenn. He will be able to win Jenn over and set a good example for all future aspiring Lone Rangers thanks to his plan and power. The evil Lone Ranger Devon Trator is one of Jenn Tran's leaders in The Single Girl season 21, which implies the show doesn't give a damn about her despite the fact that Jenn Tran's opponents are ready to take their relationship to the next level. Throughout the Lone Wolf season 21, Jenn has been making investments in the people who catch her attention, but viewers may not necessarily want the lead's gang of leaders to be the ones that control her. There are a few competitors Jenn needs to be wary of after her presentation on The Single Guy season 28, which won over the hearts of Lone Wolf Country. Even though some incredibly intelligent individuals have invested in Jenn's season and are hoping she finishes strong enough to form a genuine bond with the lead, there are some people who aren't the best fit for her. While one of the competitors who clearly didn't fit is no longer there, some remain and appear to be strong candidates for the Unhitched Female. When Sam Nejad was on the show, he was a mobile warning. Despite the fact that antagonists typically stick around for the entirety of the show, Devon, the Lone Wolf's opponent, feels quite forced. Devon's tenure on the Lone Wolf season 21 effectively positioned him as the show's adversary, despite his occasional charm. But after perusing his social media pages, it was obvious that Jenn and Devon wouldn't get along. As other Reddit investigators have noted, Devon favors a large number of Instagram accounts that are largely against movement, LGBTQIA+ issues, and vaccinations. Devon's hobbies span from teaching young children about Colin Kaepernick to extreme, distasteful paranoid theories. It's unlikely that his web entertainment reveals the whole story, but Jenn-like choices would be tough. Even while Jenn's opinions aren't quite as obvious, it's evident from what Single Guy Country discovers about her life that Jenn and Devon have different beliefs. It is extremely improbable that Jenn, the main Asian American character in The Single Woman, will be against immigration given her history of openly supporting LGBTQIA+ causes and her future aspirations to become a doctor partner. Instead, she might support immunizations. Once more, because they prioritized the program and were aware of Devon's convictions due to the availability of his web entertainment profiles, Single Women producers decided to dramatize him. Devon seemed to be content to be on TV with the rest of the gang, despite the fact that he hasn't been featured as much in the most recent episodes of The Single Woman. Fighting it out with the other contestants is certainly not a novel strategy, but it rarely works to the benefit of the singles on The Lone Ranger and the Unhitched Female. Devon has been causing unnecessary and provocative commotion early in the season, even if it is occasionally essential to discipline the behavior of one of the other hopefuls. Devon's actions have been annoying and obviously meant to confuse people. Throughout the whole 21st season of The Single Girl, Devon has been the most self-reliant character. Despite their brief interactions, it's obvious that he feels as though he isn't spending nearly enough time with the lead. Rather than attempting to find a different route to reach Jenn, he has consistently shown rudeness toward others, including former leader Aaron Urban Thomas and Gwen, by frequently interrupting and cutting in front of them to speak with Jenn. Devon has shown a greater interest in performing than in adhering to the cycle. Despite the fact that Devon appears to have spent more time getting to know the lead on the Unhitched Female, some people wonder if he's just looking for attention. To get to know Jenn better, Devon has been trying to snoop around and take advantage of other characters' time. This could be a ploy to obtain him more screen time than the other actors. Even with the best of intentions, Devon's filthy disposition is highlighted by the rest of the evidence, which makes it clear that he is a clout chaser. Devon's behavior on The Single Girl has people wondering if he's just attempting to garner influence while he's on the show, regardless of what he does after season 21. Devon needs to make a televised appearance on the ABC series, because he has been the one to ruin other candidates' chances of meeting Jenn. Fans of Lone Ranger Country have taken problem with his actions, even though it's possible that he was crafty in order to find out more about Jenn. Rather than holding out hope for Devon, it appears more likely than not that he has been attempting to become well-known while he is seeing The Single Woman. It bothers me when rivals on The Single Woman constantly decline to work with the lead after the program, even though Devon's season 21 debut wasn't expected. Lone Ranger Country producers and projecting colleagues don't seem to change their minds from season to season, despite the fact that the issue has come up at least a few times, most recently with Gabby Windey and her ex Eric Schwer from The Single Girl season 19, who were famously discovered in a racially harsh embarrassment. Given that Jenn is in her season, it's disheartening that Devon seems to be against a lot of the things Jenn holds dear. Unlike previous seasons, Unhitched Female season 21 has encountered comparable difficulties in its search for intriguing candidates that may cause drama, as opposed to those who would be drawn to a long-term relationship with the star. Many would-be clout chasers pretend to be attention seekers and appeal to the establishment in the hopes of being chosen for their fleeting taste of fame. Rather than concentrating just on their primary characters, like Jenn, the makers of The Lone Wolfess aim to provide captivating television. Regardless, the filmmakers usually decide on stunt projecting only after realizing they could pull it off, without sacrificing their moral standards.